I'm your host, King Ray Realtor, and with me, Dr. Yeah,
Yes, so.
Real Estate Doctor.
All right, so.
Okay, so we're still on today's topic regarding the tension in Lagos State as homes get demolished around Iyana Oworo and Lekki waterfront. I think there was one I saw on social media where a lady was talking about how she had purchased that property from legally purchased the property. She has her document, she has everything, and she did not get notification as to the demolition of the property, or she did not get sufficient notification as to the demolition of the property. And she mentioned that she had assets, clothes, money.
I think I saw that too, and I saw one very beautiful house too that was demolished. So according to the PS, the Permanent Secretary of Obalango, he was saying that most of the houses demolished were shanties, and I said that
I saw proper buildings invested. You know that this one
lovely
was
structures.
Lovely structures
that was pulled down with everything in
with
it,
people's properties in it.
So one of the things why this kind of thing, exercise is very common in, let me say, Nigeria, is because a lot of times the fault is on both sides, the government side and the people. The government, sometimes these informations or these notices don't go out to the point that people don't really, if you say that you've done radio jingles, you serve letters, a lot of times you need to really, a lot of people don't really, when they see these government letters like land use charges, ground rent payment, people just pick those letters and bin it.
Yes, I feel they need to invest in having people be thorough on how owners and property owners get the information. It's not just about dropping letters at gates that you are not even sure if it actually gets to the owner of the property, right? Which takes us back to the whole data thing, right? Because when you have property, the property owner being able to get actual data of who owns this property, contact details, or at least email addresses of some sort, because we're in digital age where you can send out emails, send out text messages, and that this information has gotten to the actual owner and occupier of this property, because it's really unfair that Nigerians, tax-paying Nigerians, have their investments, their properties, and their assets being pulled down. And that video was really, really disturbing, because you could see
very disturbing, and sincerely, our heart goes out to all the victims, or everybody that's our heart goes out to all the affected people. I mean, it's sad. A lot of investment gone down the drain. A lot of properties. People are right now still basking in the emotions of whatever happened over, because they were sleeping and they woke up to sounds of bulldozers and trailers pulling down their roofs and everything. Like, how I can imagine that's how terrible that scene would be. The emotional trauma and the PTSD. But I mean, away from the emotions, I just think that as a people we need to start doing the right thing. The government wants every right-thinking government wants the state to develop. Those areas
want it to look good. We
look
all
good.
Do that.
Yes. So if you drive towards the Third Mainland Bridge, towards the end, you see those properties on the right, those Iyana Oworo second area. You see that those buildings, really, some of them are in a state of total obsolescence. They are crying to be demolished already, because so they are not fit for habitation. So and the government will not allow. We've had recent cases of building collapse here and there. We've had like 4 this year. So the government will not wait for another building collapse to happen before people will now start saying, what was the government doing? Did the government see those houses before it collapsed again? That's why the government is trying to be proactive now. So let's just say that as a people, for this government to work, we need to we need to also help the government. Let me also say that, and the area where I feel that the government hasn't really done well is the area where, in Sena Climes, when these things happen, the government provide makeshift apartment for them. Now you've demolished their houses, people are homeless.
Some of those that do not have alternative. They don't
alternative
have
people are homeless now. Some people are in depression already. So for me, I'm very particular about the aftermath of this demolition. Now, if the side effect, the ripple effect of these things on citizens. So the government needs to also create, build more low-cost houses, build houses for these people, so people can actually have a roof over their head, houses that people can afford. If you go by our minimum wage,
sounds like you're referring to all those government units,
government projects where that are very durable houses and very cheap for people to become landlords and even pay small. You know what I mean? Yeah, but not to build now. There's supposed to be a resettlement scheme for these people. When Morocco was demolished very long time ago, they resettled all of them to somewhere in the Qatar resettlement scheme. All the residents there. Morocco before was just by Ozumba Umbadiwe, by VIA. Yes. They moved them to the Qatar. Let's take this call, please. Yes, morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, my name is.
Morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, my name is Matthew.
Okay.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
Please tell us where you're calling from.
Where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Benin City.
Benin City. Nice to have you on the show, Matthew. So how do you want to contribute to the show? I was going to ask you if you're part of the people that were affected by this demolition, but let's hear what you have to say.
Of course, yes.
Oh, really? Tell us, how are you affected?
Okay, they are very stupid.
we have some charlatans on radio, so some very jobless people. I'll take it that's one of the jobless people we have on radio that just calls in, and so let's go back to our conversation. So it's very, very important that people understand the area of registering your property, and also understand the area of getting approvals, and also the government has to make approval process very seamless. Approval process in this country is one of the most difficult things, and it is also very expensive, and a lot of time, it takes a lot of time. So while you are waiting to build,
yes, especially for developers that have a lot of
investment
and considering the cost of, for those that take financial loans,
yes,
considering the cost of
the loan is already running,
and
then waiting for approval before you start building. Before you know it, inflation has set in,
and all.
And look at the case of this popular developer now going on with Sujimoto and all that.
Yes,
so I think it's also a case of, inflation happened when we saw Sujimoto's side of the story.
Yes,
inflation
at the end of the day, we all got to see that. Oh, okay, as with every situation, there's two sides to every story.
There are always two sides to the story. So there's another call that we have. I hope it's not a charlatan again.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Okay, we lost that call.
Okay. All right. So very importantly, let's also say that when people start construction in any part of the country, as a government, one time when a few weeks ago when the Lagos State government came up to say that they had that we have about 176 housing estates that are illegal.
Yes.
And my question then was also that, but we have the government. When these people were building, where was the government? Stop them from constructing or building anything.
I think
it's safer. Everybody will be happy than allowing them to build
and then
settle
residents
down there,
are already living in it.
And then you now come and demolish. You now make it a very dramatic.
So I think in a lot
we
of
have another caller. Let's yes.
Hello,
morning,
good morning.
Please.
My name is Daniel.
Hello, Daniel. We lost that call again. All right.
So again, it's not just it's not always very easy for people to look for money from anywhere, outsource funds to build, and the government comes to demolish. We have other calls, but I don't think I want to pick this call. So it's very, very important. So let the government also be proactive enough to streamline our building approval processes.
Yes.
And also in the US, for example, or in the UK, it takes only 8 weeks to get building approval for a single building. 8 weeks. And it takes 13 weeks to get approval for a big estate.
Yes.
8 weeks, that's a reasonable time.
Yes.
So somebody who wants to build now will know that, within 8 weeks, I must get my building approval and I can start building immediately.
Yes.
But in Nigeria, how many buildings in this country even have building approvals? If we have to count, it's not up to 40%. It's not up to 40% of buildings. How many buildings have C of O? So it's not up to 30% of buildings in the whole of Nigeria.
In the whole of Nigeria, yes. But I feel in Lagos State actually puts in a lot of effort to properly document properties that are being developed. Because you see a lot of times properties under construction, you see those red lines, and then
they come there
they come around
to put the stop work notice and all that. Yes,
put stop work notice, and then when they get or when they meet the criteria for that project or the property, they continue with development afterwards. So yes, that does happen, right? I'm not saying that Lagos State just leaves developers and all that to go about there, but the whole situation of people then building, they're done with it, people are living in it. I feel like there should be a lot more empathy in how it is managed.
I agree
in such a way that it's not as if, because the whole line between government and people, the more aggressive the government is in enforcing some of these laws, the more that line seems to be larger, and people separate themselves from the government. And it's important that people understand that the government is an extension of themselves, who they vote in, what they want, and what is possible and what is necessary for their own benefits.
Yes.
Right?
And that's why we also advise people to always do proper consultations before you invest in any area in Nigeria, in any property. Some areas, even if they tell you that this area is, once they tell you that this area is under government acquisition, and you see that clearly that the area is fully occupied, fully populated with properties, that does not still make it free from acquisition.
True.
You can see a developed area with built-up properties everywhere. It doesn't make it free from acquisition. Once you go to conduct your land search and it tells you it is under acquisition, don't be fooled by the properties you are seeing. The government will come there eventually one day, just like they went to Iyana Oworo over the weekend. The government one day the government will come there and say it's time for us to take over our lands again, and that's what happened. But people feel how can government come and demolish all these fine houses? No, it's not. It can't happen. Let me also buy and start to build my house, and that's how a lot of people fell victim of such areas.
But the reason why we also need to be more, like as I mentioned, be more empathetic, compassionate about this is because I feel like in the long run it discourages people from investing in Nigeria and investing in Lagos State. We have some people in diaspora that you can see their comments like, oh, this is why I don't want to invest in Lagos State, this is why I don't want to purchase properties in Nigeria. And you have some that have properties in Lagos calling and asking, oh, how is my properties? Because a lot of times, because of social media and the internet, we cannot necessarily control how information is being spread outside the country. And some of these people have the wrong information. All they see online is government demolishing well-built homes.
Yes.
It's now,
I agree with you. I mean,
it's now up
to international communities that come across these videos online.
It's like, oh, so like, you've been talking about investing in Lagos, investing in Nigeria, and this is what is happening.
This is what is happening because in fact, they will even think it's the whole of Nigeria.
Exactly. It will be exaggerated in a way that does not work well for as a professional in that space. And considering the fact that I very often try to engage Nigerians in diaspora, it's a very different angle that we now have to start doing post-crisis or post-crisis management. Like, oh,
damage control.
Damage control. Like, oh, this is what happened, but this is actually what. And trying to explain to them when you know that if proper information was circulated, proper even if you say, okay, you wanted to demolish, there's a sample home that this has been demolished, we are going through this thing in phases. By the time one place has been demolished, everybody gets buckles up and like, okay, let's do this, and certain things we put in place, as opposed to pulling it down completely. Lots of homes, lots of people affected. For me, I just think
it's very important for the government to learn from advanced countries. If you want to carry out this kind of exercise, you must make alternative accommodations available for these people. That's if that was done, I don't think that the people of Iyana Oworo will go on Tubby Land Bridge will be protesting. I don't think people will really feel that pinch that much. But when you go to demolish thousands of houses and render thousands of people homeless with their families, nowhere to sleep, nowhere to go, you leave them stranded. It really calls for concern. It really calls for concern. That's why a lot of people are really angry and agitated. That how do you make us homeless overnight? We have nowhere to go. So that's not supposed to be in the direction where a right-thinking government should think. You should think of, okay, we want to demolish these things. Let's not forget that these people are still our citizens. They are Nigerians. They have a right. So let's understand that, okay, what's our plan for them? we want to demolish where they currently live. These people have kids. Where's our plan for them? So these people right now, that's why the whole of Iyana right now is tense. People are angry there. And these are the same people that will vote for you in the next election. So these things, you should know that you will come back and need these people as a government. You will come back and need. So that's why sometimes a lot of people even think that these things are politics. That's the truth.
Political.
They think that people,
and I don't think
something
it's a political thing. I think it's more about
look at the case.
And you understand that the government has good intentions.
We had the case of a certain developer that went to go and cause mayhem in Owode Onirin 2 weeks ago. That 5 people died.
What?
Yes, you know what these land grabbers they want.
Yes.
He was going there to reclaim the land, and in the process, people lost their life, and the guy was declared wanted. What's his name? One Ejigbadero guy. Yeah, so we don't really know the outcome of that case now. People have died. They want the demolition that happened at Lekki Waterfront too. People died.
Yes.
And that's why soldiers are there. But people went back there to start burning down the places. Over the weekend, so it was a mess. So all these things, I think they just
burning
need
down
to be
places. There's really no reason for civilians to get violent or
violent. Of course, people want to defend their properties, not knowing that no matter how much defense you want to put up, there's a section of a law that the government has to say that you must have your permit. If you build without permit, you are building at your own risk.
Yes.
And this is the risk. This is the outcome of this is the resultant effect that has happened over the weekend.
Education,
and that's why, as
really,
a people,
really
before you buy any property anywhere, don't be fooled by saying that the property area is built up. I want to also be there to. Once you find out that's why there are registries for you to go and confirm. Go to land registry, you can confirm these things. Go to the building permit office, LABSGA office. They'll tell you if to go ahead or not.
I think you can check those things online now, or at least Lagos State is introducing, digital
platforms
ways, digital platforms that you can use to easily verify without having to go to the Lagos State office, because that might be the obstacle or the hurdle that some people are not mentally prepared to cross.
Yes,
right. But if there's if there's a digital way of doing it, you can just vet and check whatever is going on within the property, and that would then go a long way.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Our time is fast spent, and we've talked about the recent Iyana Oworo demolition and the Lekki Waterfront demolition. And once again, our heart goes out to all the victims. We hope that everybody can bounce back in no time. And for everything, let's understand that peace is priceless, and let's make peace. It is not about protest. It's about taking your concerns or your grievances to the right
person,
agencies or authority. And all these things can be done. And very importantly, we've talked about people should get documentation for your property. If you have your building approval, your CFO, you will get compensated.
And if you are working with a professional who is aware of all the documentations that you need for your property, they will be able to properly advise you. These are the things that you need for this property. These are the things that you should check and vet that they are available, so that you do not have any of these issues in the future. Exactly.
So that's how far we can take on the show today. If you agree with me that this is a fine place to end our conversation today or end the show today, good to have you on the show again, man.